there, welcome to Hiker Homily number 17 for the week of April 16th. I'm going to try and keep this short because I've already shot my hiker topic and I ran on for like 20 minutes on my hiker topic. It's crazy. It might be a topic that not all of you are into. Sorry about that. But isn't that like any topic? All the topics are kind of like, maybe I like it, maybe I don't. So, real quick, I did the Bay Bridge Trail last Saturday with the club that I'm a member of. That was a lot of fun. Definitely a different kind of urban hike. Really cool. When they finally get that full trail finished, because right now it's just you go from Oakland, the parking spot in Oakland, to Yerba Buena Island and back, and it's about 6 miles and stuff like that. When they finally get it where it goes all the way across to San Francisco and all around the island and stuff like that, I think that'll be amazing. Right now it's pretty fun, got some good views of the thing. So that was fun. That was a good, different kind of urban hike out there crossing the bridge. And I've got plans to hopefully get to Pleasanton Ridge, if not this week, next week. There's some family stuff I got to shuffle around to figure that out. Who's going to get my son to school and stuff like that when I do it. And backpacking trips this summer. I have two 100% official confirmed. That's going to be one trip on the Lost Coast Trail. I'm looking forward to that. I've always wanted to hike it. Awesome. I'm going to be doing that with a club that I'm a member of. And that's going to be a 3-day backpacking trip. And then a 2-nighter to Bear Lake off the Crabtree Trailhead. That's going to be with the Boy Scouts. So looking forward to both those trips. Still thinking and kind of half planning maybe a Tahoe Rim Trail at the end of the summer, but I'm not 100% sure still on that. I'd like to, but it's just a matter of logistics and figuring out when. That's the problem. And that's the problem with any through hike, right? It's going to be, any time it's going to, because that one's a short through hike. That one's a couple of weeks. But, most through hikes, a couple of weeks to months, you got to figure out your window when you can go. And that's what I'm doing with that one. So, I didn't want to go on too long because I know my hiker topic is like 20 minutes all by itself. So, sorry for the long one. And if it's a topic you're not into, I'm sorry about that. That's just kind of hit and miss and how it goes. But as always, thanks for your support. And off we go to our hiker topic of the week. So this week's hiker topic, if you're not into following hikers, of course, if you're looking at my channel, it's either because you know me and you're trying to support me, and I totally appreciate that, or it's because you're into hiking and so you may be interested in following other hikers and seeing what they're doing. For me, because one of my big dreams is in the next year or two getting out there on the Pacific Crest Trail and either doing the whole thing or doing big chunks of it all in one time. And by big chunks, I mean 700, 800 miles to maybe 1,000 miles at a time. So one of the things I do, because I learn from them, is I find whatever they call it the class of. So like the folks hiking the PCT this year, they're called the PCT class of 2018. And so for the past several years, since about 2016, I pick a group of people that are sharing their adventures either on YouTube or on Instagram, and I'm following them. And you learn so much. Let me tell you what, seeing other people do these things, it's not just a sightseeing thing. Oh, look at that Eagle Rock, look at that. It's this, because a lot of them will get some of that same kind of footage and stuff like that. But the ones who really cover the trail really well, some of these folks will do every single day. They'll do some kind of, they'll be shorter reports. And then others will say, from, this mile to this mile. They do different ways to cover the trail. Some of their reports are 15, 20 minutes long each time, and that may cover several days. Some of them will be, 5, 10 minute blurbs, and they're doing it each day. But the different ways they cover it, I learned so much from them. I really do. Just, some of the hardships on the trail, because some of them don't beat around the bush. They don't show you just the good stuff. Oh, look at this beautiful view. They show you that, man, you get here and it is cold at night. It's below freezing. And the wind is whipping through here at 50 miles per hour. And it broke my umbrella and it did this. And I forgot this. You see all these things, and it's a learning process. And it's just amazing. You learn from their triumphs as well as some of their mistakes. And you can apply it to your own hiking. And so that's just one reason I do it. The other reason is I've kind of stopped watching TV. Network television just doesn't entertain me anymore. It's just it's the same old kinds of shows with new facades posted on them. You know what I mean? even a lot of the dramas and the comedies, it's like, yeah, I've seen this one before. It was called Happy Days, and it had a 50s facade on it. Well, now it's got a modern facade, but it's still the same formula. It's still the same, we're going to get this group together and, oh, hijinks ensue. It's just, I get more entertained now from YouTube. I watch gamers play certain games. I watch hikers do all kinds of adventures and things. Gets me stirred up and fired up for my own adventures and gets me outside. It really does. Watching YouTube gets me outside because I'll watch these videos, I'll get excited, and go out and have my own adventures. And it was one of the things that inspired me to start this channel. That's why I'm talking to you through this this little lens right now. Is I've seen these other people do it, and it's like, wow, that's exciting. I want to do that kind of thing. And to give me a little more motivation to do it, if I'm the only one out there hiking and nobody else knows it, then I'm telling you, I may just get sloth-like and I'm not going to go out today. But it's like, man, I'd like to get some footage to show people some of this stuff. It helps motivate me to get out there. So, what I'm going to do for the hiker topic is go over suggestions for some of the folks, if you are indeed interested in seeing how some of these folks do and learn more about the Pacific Crest Trail, because I mostly follow PCTers. If I ever do the Appalachian Trail, the AT out back east, that's many years from now, and so I haven't watched many hikes there, with one exception, and I'll go over that in a minute. And then there's the Continental Divide Trail. Those are really the big three north-south trails that everyone considers the Triple Crown, if you can do them all. But mostly I'm watching PCT because that's what I've kind of got my eye on the prize. I eventually want to do the PCT myself, and so that's what I'm watching. And so most of these folks are PCTers, and I'll start with the one exception. The one exception is Dixie. That's her trail name. Her real name is Jessica, and her channel is called Homemade Wanderlust, and you can find, she has her own website for one thing. She's also on Instagram, and she is on YouTube. She also has a Patreon page. She's got all kinds of social media covered out there. She is really good. She's a fantastic, phenomenal backpacker now, and very entertaining. She's got a great sense of humor. Very trail-wise as far as I'm concerned, and I am following her. She is this year on the CDT, the Continental Divide Trail. She did the PCT last year, and several years ago she did the AT. So this year, when she completes the CDT, she will be a triple crowner, and that is freaking awesome. It's amazing. But I'm watching her. She also has YouTube groups, Facebook groups called Homemade Wanderlust. Just awesome, very, very cool, and she's one of the few that I have watched do the AT also. I watched her do the PCT, was so entertained, and I laughed, learned a lot, because she's another one that she doesn't cut out all the stuff. When there's a frustrating part of the trail or difficulties, she lets you know that this was difficult, this was tough to do, and things like that. And I appreciate those kinds of folks who cover the trail plainly. They don't just show you the beauty, they also show you the things that kind of get to you. But she's also really neat too, because she gets down in there and gets all these little critters, the little micro worlds that exist on the PCT that a lot of people you don't see because you just kind of walk right by them. So she captures that a lot too. So I watched her do the PCT, so I went back and watched all of her AT videos, and that was pretty interesting too. That was when she was first starting backpacking. She was learning, and that was really cool to see her go through that stage. And now she's doing the CDT, so I'm following her. And again, that's Homemade Wanderlust. All right, the rest of these folks are all, I was watching one husband-wife couple do the AT, but they are now off the trail. The wife got off the trail first due to a knee problem. That knee problem when she got home turned out to be much more severe than they thought, so she had to be completely off her feet, and so she needed help at home. And so he got off the trail to be with her, and that's awesome. They were both great people, and they're a fantastic couple, and they do what they have to do to take care of each other, and that's what's important. And so I'm not watching them anymore, and that was the only ATers I was watching this year. Everybody else here is on the PCT. And so the following Thru-Hikers I am following on either Instagram or YouTube, and I'll tell you which one, sometimes both. And these are the ones who have already started. So already on the trail, but you can catch their past videos and pictures and stuff like that, and catch up to where they're at now. All of them are still in the desert area, though a couple of them are getting close now to Tuolumne Meadows and hitting the Sierras. So the first one on Instagram, I am following Space Coyote. She's still in the desert on the PCT. Justforthehikeofit is on YouTube and Instagram, and that's a pair of ladies who are hiking together, and their preliminary videos that I watched through the trek, which is what they're showing their videos on, they were pretty funny, very entertaining. So I'm like, okay, I got to check this out. I haven't seen them put out any videos yet on the actual PCT, but on Instagram they have posted a bunch of pictures and little quick videos. One of the biggies, one of the big hikers I'm following now is Darwin on the Trail. Both YouTube and Instagram. He's also one that has a Patreon page and things, and he puts out exclusive content for Patreon patrons and stuff like that. And he is tearing up the trail. He is doing 36-mile days because he's literally a professional thru-hiker. That guy just moves down the trail. But really smart backpacker, fantastic guy, very entertaining. He hasn't started his video series yet, because what he's doing is he's shooting a lot of footage and then he sends it to somebody who edits it all together for him, and then they post it for him. But on an Instagram channel, a lot of cool pictures coming through. So I'm looking forward to his videos. And obviously, and that's something real quick thing, without totally rambling. When you're watching PCT videos, most of the time, the videos you're watching, you're a little behind where they actually are on the trail. Like the stuff I watched today on April 16th, most of the hikers are talking about, well, it's April 3rd, well, it's April 4th, and because they can only post this stuff when they get into a town and get connection to send it out, right? So they get into a town to take a 0 day and resupply and things like that, and that's when they update all their videos and stuff like that on YouTube, and then they head back out into the wilderness again. So when we get them updated, they just updated, they were in a town, they've got all this footage and stuff like that from all the days past, and that's what we get. So you're a little bit behind on them when you're watching where they actually are, but you get used to that. All right, so after Darwin, I am watching a man named Rabid. He is awesome. He's a new hero of mine. This man is I believe in his upper 60s, and he is cooking on this trail. He started out a little slow, so I thought he was going to be like, yeah, right on, slow hiker like me. But once he got his trail legs, he is now doing 20-mile days on that thing, and he's got a great sense of humor. He's meeting other hikers and interviewing them when he's on the trail and going on up there. The video I just watched today, he's at Big Bear Lake now, so he's getting close to the end of the desert and stuff like that. Very entertaining. Another very entertaining one is Big Girl, Big Dreams. And she's awesome. She's putting out basically daily videos. They don't come out daily, but she'll tell you, what day it is and things like that. Sometimes she'll combine days. But again, another really good, awesome person and things like that. And she's just really funny down the trail. Who else do we got? Sara Duma. She is really good. She just has this great bubbly personality. She has this fantastic Canadian accent. She doesn't think she has an accent, I'm sure, but us Californians think that she has an accent. But she is fantastic, and I love the fact that every time she gets into a trail town, she's got to have a beer. And but she's just really doing day-by-day videos. They're little short ones. They're like 3 to 5 minutes long, but they show a lot of the really cool stuff, and even on town stops and things like that. And just her really good, friendly personality. Really awesome videos to watch. Another one is Jay Wanders Out. He's just started, so he's kind of moseying along the old desert trail. Very entertaining, and he's kind of fun to watch in the desert, at least so far, because he's from Washington. He's not used to desert hiking, and a lot of things down there in the Southern California desert are totally new to him. And so seeing him like, wow, what is this thing? That's kind of a cool video. Jenelle Healey is on YouTube, and she also is doing her own blog, and I think she's more concentrating on the written blog part and her own website. But her YouTube videos, when they do come out, are very informative, very cool. Saunter Beyond, another YouTuber, really good personality, and he's one of the few that have looks like he's kind of got a regular tramily around him, which for those of you who don't know, that's a trail family. A group of folks that have decided they all have similar hiking things. You know, they hike about the same pace. That sometimes he's on the trail kind of by himself, and there's a few behind him and a few ahead of him, but they all end up at the same place at the end of the day because they're not that far in front or behind each other, so they're similar pace. And so it's just a group of folks that look like they're staying together for most of the trail. That's always fun to see form and watch. I saw a couple of those last year. Folks that they stuck together, ended up, hey, we have similar interests, and so for the most part ended up hiking together for the whole trail. It's cool to see. After Saunter Beyond, we have Sibs on a trip, and this is a brother and sister who have teamed up, and they've decided to go on this adventure on the Pacific Crest Trail, and it's quite fun because sometimes you see this kind of neat back and forth. They each have their own cameras, and then they're combining footage, and so you'll see sometimes things like the sister will be a little bit ahead of the brother, and like, oh, look at this mountain, but she's, you know, about a mile ahead of them. You know, they're going to end up at the same spot when they take breaks and stuff, but she's ahead of them enough where she'll get a footage of, oh, look at this mountain. I bet, you know, my brother would really like this, and then she'd move on. And then the next clip is the brother has finally caught up, and oh, look at that mountain. I bet my sister liked that. I think it's really cool. You know, so it's kind of funny seeing their different perspectives on the same thing on the trail and things like that. So that's Sibs on a trip. I'm also watching Pondering Hiker. I really like him because he's very mellow and he hikes my style. He is in no hurry. He is enjoying the heck out of that trail. And when he wants to take a break, he takes a break. You know, he's not worried about 20-mile days. If he does a 10-mile day, he's perfectly happy. If he does a 20-mile day, fantastic. But he's going to do that with plenty of breaks if he wants to. And it's just really cool when he ends all of his videos with something to ponder, some kind of little saying to ponder. It's kind of interesting. So I like him a lot because he's more along my hiking style. I think it's great watching some of these folks who go down the trail doing 20, 30-mile days. But when I get on the PCT, I do not see myself doing that. I mean, maybe after 200 miles, I'll get what they call your trail legs, and I'm like, oh yeah, 20-mile day, it's nothing. I don't know. Right now, I don't see myself doing that. I see myself doing 10 to 15s. Once I get my trail legs, at the beginning, maybe even less. But that's me. I've never been, even when I was young and in really good shape, and you know, had the thinness and maybe some abs going, I was in decent shape when I was, you know, 18, 19, early 20s and stuff like that. Even then, I was never a fast backpacker. I'm always looking at stuff. I'm just, you know, my eye is all over the place looking at stuff. I'm so fascinated about being out there that I just don't, you know, I don't rush down the trail. And I'm not saying that the others are rushing through their trip. I'm just saying that I've just never been the type of person that puts out big miles quickly. You know, I'll get there, but I'm gonna kind of hang out down the trail. Off I go. And so Pondering Hiker kind of does that. Another person I am watching is John Schwarz, and he is mostly on Instagram. I haven't seen a presence for him anywhere on YouTube so far, but Instagram, he's putting out a lot of stuff, and he's doing a lot of miles, doing cool stuff. Now, a few people I want to mention real quickly because I know this video is good. It's long. I get it. It's running on long. I get it. So a few people I want to mention who have not started yet, but will be starting soon, and that is Vagabond Pauline on YouTube, the Whimsical Woman on YouTube. They both haven't started yet, but will be starting very soon. In fact, I think Whimsical Woman may have actually officially started, but just hasn't put out anything on YouTube yet because she's on the trail right now and hasn't reached the first point where she's got a connection and can put it out there. So that's Vagabond Pauline and the Whimsical Woman, and also MicroAdventureWorld, a guy named Derek from Ireland. His channel is called MicroAdventureWorld, and he is on both YouTube and Instagram. He will be starting very soon. He's been out in Vietnam, staying there for a while and having a little adventure out there, traveling the world, and he will be coming into San Diego very soon, hitting the PCT. I'm looking forward to it because he is so excited about doing the PCT. He really is, and it gets me excited watching him. And so he hasn't started yet, but we'll be starting soon. And I want to give a shout out to the Chubby Hiker. She started the PCT. She got down the trail a little bit and decided she was just not ready for it, and she got off the PCT. But Lady, you are amazing, because as brave as you are to start the PCT, you're just as brave to know your limits and decide, not ready for it yet. I'm going to get off of it for now, and then she'll be back to it when she gets herself there. But the other thing that she's so brave about is she put it out there on her YouTube channel. She didn't hide anything. She showed us her breakdowns. She showed us how tough it was for her. I got nothing but extreme. I tell you what, I'm just so impressed with you. You are amazing. So check out the Chubby Hiker, because she's going to be doing more stuff on her channel, getting herself ready for another attempt at the PCT, maybe next year. Who knows, whenever she feels she's ready. And you know what? She's far from the only person to start that trail and not finish it and decide, I'll have to give it another go. And that's okay. Just the fact that you tried it in the first place, you're still above a bunch of other people who have never even done that. Don't even think about trying that trail. They're like, no, there's no way I could do it. You still got out there, gave it a shot. You weren't quite ready for it. You're going to do it again. I'm a big supporter of yours. I don't know if you can tell. Just because I think it's really cool that you didn't hide it or anything. You put it out there. You had trouble. This is why you had trouble. And that took a lot of guts, a lot of bravery, and that's just amazing. So the Chubby Hiker, if you're on my channel, check out her channel if you haven't. I know I don't have that many subscribers, but I'm also putting this out there on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So check her out. She's amazing. She has a great personality, and I think she's going to do it. She's going to get out there again the next PCT season or the one after that, and that's really cool. I want to see her succeed. And that covers all the hikers that I'm following for this year. And holy mackerel, I'm almost at 20 minutes with just that. So I know this is going to be a long video. Sorry about that. But, and if you're not going to follow anybody, you just don't care about watching people on YouTube or on Instagram, I get it. Sorry, this is kind of a waste for you this week. Bummer. But we'll get back on another topic next week and things like that. And other than that, that's about what it is. If you have any comments, as usual, you got the email, hikingforhealthca@gmail.com. You can leave comments below any of the videos I put out, and I'll get a notification for that. You can get a hold of me on Instagram, hikingforhealthca, or also that on Facebook. I've got a page there, and that's about it for now. So, 20 minutes in, and I will see you next week.